Good morning or afternoon. It's just after 1 or noon. Gosh, I can't. I need more coffee.
Yeah, apparently you do.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, I was looking at you. You're the leader. You're the boss. I work for you.
You open it literally every week.
I didn't today.
I see that. I definitely see that. Welcome everyone to Marriage Helper Live. One of these days, that opening will say Dr. Joe Beam and Dr. Kimberly Beam Holmes very soon, and we are very excited for it. Until then, the phone lines are open. You can call us at 615-912-2998. Again, that is 615-912-2998. And we are going to go to our first caller today, Jonathan from England. Jonathan, how can we help you today?
Oh, hi there. I wanted to call and ask you whether you think basically that there's any point in me waiting for my wife to come back. She started what I think is a limerent affair. I didn't know anything about limerence until I was confronted with this, but she started it in February of this year with a female friend of hers who was a pastor at our church, actually. And after 3 months, I kind of confronted her and asked her about it, and she told me, "Yeah, I love her romantically," and I kind of asked her what that was, and then we kind of were together for 5 months that were like torture really for both of us, and she kind of left me about 5 or 6 weeks ago, saying that she loves me, but she's not in love with me. Like, it's different now, her feelings for me. We've been together 13 years, and she's really like loved me a lot. I know she has.
Do you have kids together?
And yeah, we've got 4 kids. So a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
And she has moved out and left the 4 of them and you?
Yeah, she's moved out, and we're kind of doing 50-50. And when we kind of broke up, well, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, the affair partner, she left her family as well, and I thought, maybe they'd be together, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be. My wife isn't, she said, "I don't even know if I'm going to be with her. I'm not with her." She seems like she's in a pretty broken place, but a couple of days after the breakup, she sort of said to me, like, we're never getting back together again, which was quite extreme because, well, I thought it was, because for the 5 months she'd been, we'd been getting warmer and then colder, and it had been vacillating too, and backwards and forwards. And she's like, I'm gonna buy a house for me and the kids. We're never getting back together again.
How did you find out about limerence, Jonathan?
I think it was a marriage helper video. I saw it online, and I do a lot of like watching of YouTube videos, and I was just frantically trying to find out what was, if I could find out any information. And it seemed like limerence was the thing that I was dealing with. And I tried to show her some videos and explain it to her, and it was rejected. But kind of recently, I sent her a video from. If you've ever seen the woman, she's called Following Fenner. She does a bunch of videos on limerence, and I sent it to my wife maybe a couple of days before we broke up, and she sort of said it does make a lot of sense that. And then we broke up, and she's like, "No, it's not. It's love." I'm like, right, okay.
So may I ask a few questions, because I think I got lost in this.
Okay.
Yeah, how old is your wife?
She's 35.
35. And you've been together how long?
Yeah. We've been together 15 years, but we've been married 13 years.
Okay. And she's been involved with this other person how long?
She's known her for years, but this hasn't been going on, and this just started in sort of January, February this year. They had sort of 3 months together where they were very intense, and looking back, I can see they were in a euphoric sort of state.
And did you say the other person was your pastor? Did I hear that or misunderstand?
Yeah, she was a pastor at our church. Yeah, she's since been kind of publicly sort of, dismissed, and the reason was given, but it didn't include any details about my wife.
And your wife is still involved with her?
Well, I don't know. She like, to me, she is definitely the reason why we've broken up. Although my wife is bringing up lots of other things as well to do with. Not meeting her emotional needs and not being seen, and I didn't really understand what that was.
And has your wife ever been involved in a same-gender relationship before?
No, she's not.
Okay, or give
So
an indication of such.
as far as I'm aware, and I do know this from previously, like she's had things where women have liked her, and she's appreciated it and kind of liked them back a little bit, but never done anything
Nothing
about
like
it.
this. Okay, and so
Yeah.
your specific question.
Whereas the affair partner is like basically a closet lesbian.
Okay, I didn't hear the last thing you said. I'm sorry. What's that?
And I just said that the affair partner is like been basically gay most of her life, but has been
I
suppressing
see.
it. So for her, this is a bit of an existential kind of thing
I see.
for the affair partner.
Okay, and what specifically, Jonathan, would how can we help you? What can we do?
I just wanted to know if you thought that it's worth getting my hopes up. Like I keep because my wife was very sort of clear with me after, and it was only after 2 days, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. But she was like, I said, should I move on? And she said, yep. And I said, well, are we going to get divorced? And she said, okay. She's buying a house for her and the kids. She's so cold. She's like it's a different person, really. I keep finding diaries of hers and reading all the prayers she'd put in there because we're Christians, and just seems like I'm dealing with just a totally different person, someone that's got no love for me at all, or has really managed to squash it all down.
Yeah. Well, in a sense, you are dealing with a totally different person, in the sense that I don't know if you can see me or not, but I'm going to use talk with my hands. Whoever or whatever is most important to a person has a very strong influence over what they believe to be true. And what they believe to be true will determine their value system, which includes their morality. And when the beliefs and values change, the person does become a different person. And so, yes, you are dealing with a different person because our beliefs and values changed. So Kimberly asked to his question.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as to his question, should he get his hopes up? I mean, Joe, you're the limerence expert. I can speak to it more from the stance of it has not been that long. There are things that you can do and should be doing in order to, as we say at Marriage Helper, if anything works to bring your wife back, this will. Because it sounds like this has all happened pretty quick and her emotions can change back as well. And so working on yourself, practicing smart contact, all of those things that we teach are important. But when it comes to the limerence, I mean, Joe, do you think it's limerence?
I'm not sure. It was obviously an intense passion, but the fact that it went so quickly, it could be a very short episode of limerence. Absolutely, it could be possible. But if so, it seems like it's already into the third phase, or at least toward the end of the second phase, which means that it appears, if it were truly an intense case of limerence, if they were still in what we call phase 2, crystallization, then she would still be actively involved with this person as much as she possibly could be. If she's not, then either it wasn't limerence or the limerence is beginning to fade. Now, the kind of things that she's saying to you when she says, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. This is never going to work. If you want a divorce, okay, let's do it. All of those things are very typical. You hear this from people all the time, whether they're in limerence or not. And I would recommend that you don't mention divorce anymore. If I heard what you said earlier, Jonathan, you asked her if she's considering or wanted to divorce, and she said, okay. Even speculating about divorce makes it more likely it's going to occur. And so I just wouldn't bring that up at all. Leave it off. You have children together, apparently, and obviously you love them, and apparently she loves them as well. And the fact that she's confused right now about what she wants is not unusual, particularly after going through a same gender affair. Those are more difficult to deal with. There's no doubt about that. And particularly in female to female. By the way, I haven't looked lately, but until relatively recently, the highest divorce rate in America was among women who are married to women. And so they get into the relationships, but at least in the USA, those relationships are more likely to end in divorce than any other group. Now, again, I haven't checked that lately. I need to. So what happens is this. They have the compassion. They have the understanding. Here's a person that understands my emotions, who understands what I feel, what I want, etc. And so that can be very, very attractive. And a person gets into that. But if her past belief and value system, and if I heard you right, it was a Christian belief and value system, where she's diaried about prayers and those kinds of things, then that's still in there somewhere. And if that's still in there somewhere, I don't think it disappears that quickly. Now, it could, but I don't think it does. And so that means, is there hope? The answer is yes. Or as Kimberly says, there's
Always hope.
always. And that's true, there's always hope. I wouldn't push for anything right now. She's in a part of confusion. And what Kimberly said earlier is absolutely true, which is right now you want to work as much as possible on becoming the very best person you can possibly be. And at the same time, what you really want to do is make sure that you understand when we talk about acceptance, which means it's not endorsement, it's not encouragement, but it's acknowledging reality. And reality here is that she had an affair with another woman. Reality here is right now she doesn't think she wants to be with you. Reality is right now she's not sure which direction she's headed. So acknowledge that. And that's acceptance. You can tell her, I understand. I accept that that's what you feel. That's not encouraging it. That's not in any way endorsing it. But people react to feeling understood, not feeling chastised.
They do. Very much so. That's what we see in psychology as well. The basis of talk therapy in the 1960s, 1970s was based in if there is a steady presence that's able to listen to someone with empathy and allow them to feel accepted, that is what will lead that person, the patient in this scenario, to change. And that was the whole basis of the beginning of talk therapy. How far we've come, but I won't get on that soapbox.
You know, she studied, how many years you been in this PhD program?
5.5.
5.5 years. You've learned a lot. That's amazing. Good. And so that's the power of acceptance. It's so powerful. Jonathan, our heart is with you.
It is.
If
Don't
you
give up.
Don't give up. That's exactly right. Just be patient. Kind of wait it out right now because she doesn't even know what she wants at the moment. So just be patient for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Joe, it's situations like that that are great opportunities for the solo spouse workshop that we do. Because you have a spouse who's not wanting to get involved. In this case, it's the wife. She's moved out. She doesn't know what she wants. But we believe at Marriage Helper that one spouse can begin doing the things that will save a marriage.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have our solo spouse workshop and our solo spouse program that has coaching and it has our membership that you get with that as well. And so I would encourage anyone listening, especially Jonathan, that if you are in that spot where you say, I don't want to stay where I am, I don't want to just stay not knowing what to do in this holding pattern, because things aren't going to get better unless you do something to begin to change things. And you, as the standing spouse, as we like to call it at Marriage Helper, you do have the power to change things. You do. You can't change your spouse, but you can change you and you can change dynamics in your relationship. And that's exactly what we help teach you do. We had a solo spouse just this past weekend. And Nathan, our facilitator Nathan, Coach Nathan, he was saying in our team meeting yesterday that there was a woman who Friday night was able to implement some of those things with her spouse that night and began to see results.
And the workshop just started Friday
And
morning.
it just started on Friday.
So we have two versions of that solo. One is online, and both males and females can be in that. And then we have one right here in Middle Tennessee that we do just for men. And we'll be doing one of those. As a matter of fact, I'll be leading the one that'll be November 14th beginning. It's 3 days, 14, 15, 16, right here in Middle Tennessee. And like I said, that's for men only, and that's an extremely powerful workshop. We'd love to have you in any of those, but Jonathan, there's hope. Don't give up yet, my friend. And like Kimberly said, when you change you change the dynamic. And when you change the dynamic, that often winds up changing the other person.
Absolutely. It's amazing how that happens. Well, Joe, we're going to go to another caller.
Okay.
Which one do you want to go to?
Let's talk to Jesus.
Jesus from Utah. How can we help you today?
Hello. I'm calling because I recently hit a rough patch with my partner. Just to sum it up for you, I don't want to, get too much into detail of what's happened because I've sort of tried, forgetting it on, starting over like she asked me.
Mm-hmm.
But so basically, I did some things, she's done some things. Hers was more recent, And so, right now I'm at the point we've been arguing so much, about it. I'm not sure, what I need to do.
Jesus, how did you find Marriage Helper?
I found it here actually, on YouTube. I was looking through some videos, I found Marriage Helper.
I love that. And and you've been with your girlfriend. The notes that we see on our screen say that you're not married. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're trying to decide, do I continue this relationship to ultimately one day get married, or should I just move on? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been together 3 years. May I ask how old y'all are?
I'm 21. It might not sound like it right now. I'm a little under the weather, and she is 22.
Okay, great.
So you're still young. You've got a whole life ahead of you. Here's the question, Jesus. Do you want to marry this woman?
Honestly, that's never even been a question. It's always been a yes. I've never even had to ask myself, like, do I see myself with her? I always knew I did.
But right
And
now
still
you're
do.
questioning that because apparently she's not been faithful. Is that what I'm assuming here?
Yeah, towards the beginning of our relationship, I wasn't. I admit it. I made it was a mistake. I admit it. And hers was about a month ago. I found out. When she confronted me about how she found out about, my mistake, I was honest with her. I let her know everything. But when I found out about hers, it was like putting a puzzle together. I had to keep asking her questions. She kept
Right.
lying. I had to manipulate her to tell me the truth until she finally did. And, I said some pretty, mean things. I was mad that she kept lying.
Yeah.
And I did say some pretty mean things, and she took it pretty, offensive. And, she said, oh, we needed a break. We just, recently, we fully got back together. She said we needed a break. We did, like, no contact. Like, we didn't
Okay.
talk to each other or anything.
Gotcha. Do you have any
sir.
children together?
No, sir.
Okay. The best time to get a divorce, Jesus, is before you get married. And so if you think this is not going to work, if she's not going to be with you, if she's not going to be faithful and true to you, or if you're not going to be faithful and true to her, the best time to end it would be now before you get married. Now, if you really love this woman and really want to marry her, then you need to sit down and have that conversation with her. Look, we don't need to be boyfriend and girlfriend anymore. We need to be married to each other totally and completely committed. And here's what that means. And if you agree to that and she agrees to that, then that would be awesome. Go ahead and marry each other. But resolve these issues before you do, my friend. Please resolve these issues. Because if you don't resolve them before you get married, they're going to pop back up again after you get married. And if you don't think you can resolve them, you're a very young man, she's a very young woman, it's time to go look for somebody else. Because as I said, the best time to get a divorce is before you get married. Does that sound harsh, Jesus? I don't mean to.
No, sir. I understand it completely, but she finds it so easy to forget about things, and I can't do that. Like it's like one of the most impossible things for me to do.
So you're still in love with her, but she can move on past you. That's what I just heard you say. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That and like the mistakes that we make, like she finds it so easy to forget about her mistakes and my mistakes, but I can't do that. Like,
Yes, sir. I tell you what, Jesus, you sound like the man that's going to make a great husband. You're going to be very loving, very committed, very there. I mean, I realize you made some errors before, but, get over those things. I can't tell you what to do with your life. It's not my choice. But there may be somebody better for you who would love you like you love them, because you don't want to be the one that does most of the loving while the other person doesn't. You will not like a relationship like that. So, Jesus, you do what you think is the right thing to do. But if it were I think I'd let her move on if that's what she wants to do. But it's your choice, my friend. It's your choice. You sound like a good guy, Jesus. You really do.
Yeah, he really does. I love that he called. We never get people who are dating. Unfortunately, people who are dating don't ask some of these hard questions sometimes.
And did you notice the respect? He called you ma'am, he called me sir. This is one of those good guys
Yeah.
that, not because of the fact that I'm saying that I want to be called sir or you ma'am. I'm just saying I bet that that's the way he deals with everybody in life.
Yeah.
Just one of those good guys.
Yeah.
God be with you, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Joe, let's go to, it's that time of week for Michael's Motivational Minute. Michael, over to you.
Hello, friends. I want to talk to you about the line. The line right now is your marital crisis, or the challenges, the obstacles, the things that are keeping you stuck right now. I want to ask you a question. Are you living above the line, or are you living below the line? Below the line is chaos. Your hair is on fire. Everything's an emergency. You're continuing to do more pushes than you are pulls. Life is not good living in chaos. But above the line is living in calm, focusing on the things that you can control, being aware of those emotional processes that are swirling around you and understanding the things that are causing you anxiety. Leaning into your pies, working on your physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual life. And then also taking some time to be mindful. Living above the line is where you want to be. Living in calm. You can do this. You've got this. We're here to help.
We are absolutely here to help. And if we can, that is what we want to do. We've put it on the screen before, but if you want to explore how you can more deeply work with Marriage Helper, then you can book a call to talk with someone on our team and to see how we can best help you. marriagehelper.com/call is the best place that you can go for that. But I also want to let you all know about something special that we've never done before that we are doing on November 8th. Yeah.
Yeah, when I hear we, I keep thinking, yeah, that means me, right?
And by we, I mean Joe.
So whenever I hear we, I get a little hope, like I don't have to do this by myself, but I think maybe I will.
It will thrive. This is what everyone wants. Everyone wants to learn from the master.
Oh, wow. Here we
The
go.
push-pull master, everyone. One of the things that we talk about all the time, a foundational principle here at Marriage Helper, is push-pull. And if you've seen any of our YouTube videos and know anything about us, you have heard about that. Well, for the first time, what we are doing, what we are calling a mini workshop. It's 2 hours live with Dr. Joe, November 8th. It's going to be held from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time. So depending on wherever you are in the world, you'll have to look up what that time zone is for you. But this workshop, it's not just a webinar that you dial into and listen to. No. This is a paid event. You come, it is live on Zoom. We will see you. Joe will see you. You will see Joe. And it's going to be interactive. And he is going to be going deeper into the very foundational principle of what you can stop doing to push each other away and how you can begin to pull each other back. Now, here's the thing. I know you're going to ask 2 big questions. The first one is, can I do this with my spouse? And the answer is absolutely. If you have a reluctant spouse who said, I don't want to do this full 3-day workshop with you, I don't want to do counseling with you, this is a very easy, low commitment, easy way to ask them to do something with you that will also actually begin to make a big difference in your relationship. The second question you're going to ask is, well, can I do this by myself? And the answer to that is absolutely. You can still come even if you're joining without your spouse. We will have both of those groups of people on this mini workshop, and it's going to go deep into how you can better save your marriage. That's the ultimate goal of everything that we do at Marriage Helper. So if you want to know more about that and to sign up for that, then you can go to the link that is listed in the chat. We'd love to see you there. And by we, I mean Joe.
I would love to see you there. I would love to have you involved in that. 9 to 11 on November the 8th, a Saturday. 9 to 11 Central Time.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's go to our next caller. Let's go to Camille from California. Camille, how can we help you today?
Hi, yes. Thank you for taking the call today. I just had some questions and more about needing advice about what to do in my situation. I want to know how to communicate better with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we've been together for 19 years. And the thing right now is he wants me to communicate with him. But when I do try to communicate with him, he doesn't necessarily want to communicate back with me, if that even makes sense. And to him, anything, even just asking him about his day, like, hey, how was your day? How did work go? How did practice go? Like, he sees that all as superficial and surface level, and he says that that's boring. He doesn't want to talk to me about that stuff, that he wants me to talk to him about things that build our relationship, not repair it, but build it. And he won't necessarily tell me what that is or what that looks like to him. And anytime that I try to do that, it just backfires.
That feels really frustrating. So does he ever try to initiate conversation on his end?
No, he literally will sit there and stare at me and expect me to do everything.
And when did all of this start? Has it always been this way for 19 years?
No, we've been together for 19 years, and out of the 19 years, we've been married for 11 years. We currently don't have any kids. We do have a lot of animals, and
so when did the change happen in the communication?
The communication, I would say maybe a few months ago, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So back in January, just to give you a little background information, is my husband found out that I cheated on him. And the strange part is he married me knowing that I did cheat on him, and I did not know that. And I cheated on him prior to marriage, not during our marriage, but he doesn't see it that way. And in the first few months that everything came out, like, yes, he was a little everywhere and was still willing and engaging with me and talking. And then little by little, that just shifted and changed.
So how did it come out after 13 or 11 years?
We found an old, I guess, like iPod, and it had pictures of me during my college days. And I mean, I have a lot of friends, and my friends were very friendly, hugging me or kissing me on the cheek. And he took that as proof or evidence of cheating, even though it really wasn't.
But you did cheat.
But I did, yes.
Okay, and that was in the 8 years before you got married? You were together 19 years, married for 11. So this cheating took place during that 8-year period?
Yes.
Okay, and how close to the marriage did it take place?
It did happen during our engagement, during the period of our engagement. So I would say maybe
May I ask
6
you
months
why?
to a year before actually getting married.
May I ask you why? If you're engaged to him, been with him for years, why?
I think by that point in my life, I had cheated on him already a few times, and it became, I hate to say it like this, but like a habit.
So tell me why. Why did that happen? Why did that habit develop?
Because I had a lot of insecurities and trust issues with my husband at the time. When
So
we were
you cheated
together,
on him
I saw
because
that
you
he
thought
had,
he wasn't going to be there for you?
yes, and I thought he was cheating on me. Like I would see how he was with females, and he had a lot of female friends that were around him constantly. And he is a very friendly person. And the things that I just knew about him and that I saw, it looked like he was cheating on me.
So was he really cheating on you, or were you just imagining that?
I was imagining that.
So he wasn't really cheating on you?
I mean, I have no proof or evidence, so I have to say no.
Okay. So in the 11 years you've been married, have you cheated on him?
Flirting, yes, but past flirting, no.
Do you find your self-esteem based on how men treat you or how men look at you?
No, I don't think so.
You don't need a lot of affirmation from men?
From my husband, I would say yes, but not
But you
from
just
others.
said that you've been flirting a lot during your marriage.
Yeah, I like, yes, I do. I flirt.
Why?
Yes, that is true.
So what does that do for you?
Just, I guess, like the dopamine feeling of it,
Okay.
a feeling of that, like, I am noticed.
And so when your husband says, I want you to build our relationship and I want you to do it, what do you think is the real message behind that? What is he really saying?
To be honest, I'm really confused by him because he says one thing but does something else.
Not necessarily.
And I know he says that it has to be actions. He says that words don't mean anything. And when I talk to him, he feels like it's just a lot of hot air, that I know how to talk, but I don't know how to do things.
So Kimberly, what do you think he's really asking for here that he really wants? I know we have to guess. We don't know him, but what do you think?
He wants her attention, her love, her commitment, more than anything. That's what I hear.
Mm-hmm. I hear the same thing.
Glad we agree.
And so he's saying, if he's seeing you flirt with other guys, then he has to have insecurity about that. If he knows that you were unfaithful to him at some point, then he's got to be thinking, is that what she's thinking now? And if she's flirting with these guys, is she wanting that to occur? And so what I hear is the same thing Kimberly hears. He wants to know that you are focused completely on him, that you want to be his wife, that you want to be open and transparent about your emotions, your needs, your feelings, all those kinds of things, and that he is expecting you to do that because right now he doesn't trust you with his intimate knowledge of his own emotions.
Yeah, and I guess I have to say I have to think because I don't know him. I would assume he has a wall up
Absolutely.
with you because first of all, he knew you cheated for 11 years and y'all never talked about it until this year. That already is a barrier to intimacy and true intimacy with each other, to have something like that. Both of you knew it and you just continued moving forward. There's a lot of uncovering of information that needs to happen, forgiveness that needs to occur on both sides, including you, Camille, understanding your fault in this and what you need to do moving forward to make it better, because the ball is in your court right now.
Yes.
And he wants to feel heard. I know he wants to feel heard, and he's not leaving. That's the amazing thing. He's wanting to try and rebuild this, but he doesn't know how because of how hurt he is, and you don't know how either. You both need to do something. This is the perfect opportunity for the two of you to do something together, because you're not going to figure this out working on it with just the two of you. It's going to create more hurt in the process by trying to do this yourself. But it is absolutely worth trying to figure this out, because this is salvageable. This is absolutely salvageable. There is hope. So what should they do next, Joe?
I think that you hit it. It's going to be her, first of all, figuring out some things about herself. You know, why did I have all those affairs? Why? What is it doing for me? Not saying, well, because I thought he might be having affairs, because that's actually blaming somebody elder than herself. Like, I did this, but I'm justifying it because I thought he did that. And so I would think the first thing you have to do is look inside of yourself and say, don't blame it on him. Look deep inside of you. Why was I doing that? What was it doing for me? And the fact that I'm still flirting with men now, you know, why am I doing that? What does that mean to me? And why am I driven for that? There's some things there, and it may be that a counselor can help you figure that out. But there's some inner work I think that you have to do. I don't think you're an evil person or a bad person. And if I came across a little strong in my questions for you, I apologize for that. But I think it's because of the fact that you're avoiding you. You're avoiding knowing you. And that's where the first part of the solution is going to take place.
Yes. We promise to do one thing all the time at Marriage Helper, and that's to tell the truth, even when it hurts.
Even when it hurts.
Even when it hurts. It's one of our core values, unshakable truth. Unshakable truth. And so we say it because we care about you and we care about your marriage. And we know that it can be healed and we know that it can turn around. We do know that. Let's go to Stephen from our home state of Tennessee. Stephen, how can we help you today?
Hey, so my wife agreed to go to the Marriage Helper workshop.
It's awesome.
We're getting that scheduled right now.
Great.
She did agree because I saw all your videos and I read the articles online of how to basically get your spouse to come to the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said it would help with communication, it could help with co-parenting, and she did agree to come with me. She told me several weeks ago that she loves me, but she's not in love with me. And then another thing that I found out, and I didn't say this to the person, but I found out from my kids this morning, is my kids found out that she's talking to another man. And my kids lost it and told me what they said to her. And
which was what?
They said, you're going to stop talking to him or you're going to lose us. And I was
how old
shocked
are these
that
kids?
they said that.
How old are the kids?
Teenagers.
And
Wow.
Teenagers.
boys, girls?
Boy and a girl.
Good for them.
What ages?
15 and almost 13.
Give them both a hug from me.
That's so strong of them. You've raised good kids.
Yes, you did. Good for you.
I'll tell you, inside out, I felt like a yellow and blue ball. I was sad and proud all at the same time.
For sure.
I don't know. I'm trying to stand for my marriage. We've been married 19 years, 2 wonderful kids, and I think she was set back by that. But she did agree to go to the marriage, and I'm trying to stay and keep hope. My kids keep saying to fight for it, fight for it, fight for it, and
Good.
I'm just trying to keep on to that hope. And
When
I
are
was
you
wondering,
coming?
November, December.
Okay. Don't rock the boat between now and then, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
I'm
just
trying to work on my pause. I'm working on my pause. I
Good.
downloaded the links. I'm working on Smart Contact, and trying to do what I'm supposed to do.
You know, as soon as you register for the workshop, you'll get access to the entire membership. And so you'll have all of those toolkits that you can watch. You'll have the community that you can go to. You can even do a coaching session or 2 for yourself before the workshop to keep you calm. But to answer the question, the underlying question of this is there still hope even with all of this? Yes, absolutely. What you need to know, Stephen, is that you aren't and should not try to fix her or change her mind necessarily between now and the workshop. Let the workshop do that for you. The workshop environment creates a place that she will have a lot of opportunity to self-reflect and discover and see what the future can hold on her own. Stephen, people come on Friday with divorce papers and rip them up by Sunday. I'm not saying that's going to be your story in that short of a time span, but it does happen. And amazing things happen afterward. There is still hope. This exact situation that you're talking about is the common thing we see at our workshops.
And it said, I saw in your script up here that said that she's coming because of co-parenting. And just make sure she understands it's a marriage workshop. Yes, you'll learn a lot of things about co-parenting. It's very helpful for co-parenting. But we have discovered if a spouse walks into that workshop thinking it's a parenting workshop and then discovers it's a marriage workshop, they react badly. So make sure she knows it's a marriage workshop. But yes, you will learn a tremendous amount about co-parenting.
Absolutely. It will absolutely help with co-parenting. And Stephen, we can't wait to meet you and your wife when you come. Surely you're going to come in person. You live in Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah, if I may ask, what part of Tennessee?
Middle Tennessee.
Okay, so you're close to us. You're in driving distance.
Yes.
Do you have hope, Stephen? Have we helped your hope?
You have. I'm holding on to it and praying every day. And I've talked to my elders, and they've really been praying for me as well.
Good.
Good. Good. I look forward to seeing you, my friend.
Yes.
Just
Thank
be
you.
cool. Be cool. Okay.
I will.
Be chill is how we say it
Chill,
now.
chill.
Well, that's how I say it. My kids would probably say a word like cooked or something. I don't know. I don't know. They wouldn't say cooked. I don't know. I don't even know the new lingo these days. Riz. Be Riz. Have Riz. It means charisma.
I am totally out of this conversation.
Yep,
at
me
this
too.
point.
All right. On that note, let's move to a new type of segment. So typically we hear from Kristen and we hear the workshop testimonies, which are amazing. But unfortunately, Kristen was sick this week. But we're doing something new. Tomorrow, or is it tomorrow? When are we releasing? Tomorrow, we are releasing the next Marriage Helper YouTube video. And today, we're going to give you a teaser of what that's going to be about. Let's go to tomorrow's YouTube video. When women work outside the home and when they work more outside the home, we are beginning to see that actually this may end up causing a higher divorce rate for these marriages unless you understand what's really going on and what you need to do in order to save your marriage from divorce when this is your situation. I would say 90 to 95% of women who are the primary income earners don't care about the money. You may need to step up if you're the kind of person, if you're the kind of husband who is not wanting to step on her toes, who's scared of making her mad, who has really let her run the ship because you don't want to upset her. If you are a man married to a woman who is the primary income earner in your home, then this video is for you. Dang, I want to watch it. That looked amazing. It's like a trailer for a video. Great job, Jason. You put that together real nice.
You both did a great job.
We're doing it's a 2-part series. So tomorrow is for the man who is married to a woman who's a primary income earner. And next week I have a video for the women who are primary income earners. So you don't want to miss those two. Where are we going to next?
Well, let's just look at Brent over here in the comments. Brent said, I just want to know how to reinitiate contact with my wife. She's gone silent and pushed me out. She's filed papers for a hearing on December the 8th. I'm working on myself, just finding it hard to be patient. The quick answer to that, Brent, is you have to be patient. You see, reinitiating contact is going to be so much better if it comes from her. And what we have witnessed many times over the 30 years we've been doing this, actually more than 30 years that I've been doing this, you were like, what, 5 when we started? 4, something like that? So
6?
6?
4, I don't know.
You can't blame me for not knowing how old she is if she doesn't know how old she is. Okay.
No, I know how old I am. I don't know how old I was when you started.
We started in 1994.
Well, I was probably 5.
Okay,
So
so she was
31
5
years.
31 years. What I'm saying is we have learned this again and again, that when you work on you, Brent, when you do the things you need to do to take care of yourself, to become the best person you can be, working on your pies, physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, working on learning how to be accepting without endorsing or encouraging, then it's amazing how many times that your spouse will begin to hear things from your friends. Not because you told your friends, go tell my spouse this, don't do that, but because of the fact people will begin to see the better changes in you, and then they'll pass that on. And it's amazing how many times then the other spouse in that case will call or make some kind of contact and say, hey, I hear you're changing. What's going on? And so the best thing to do is not you to figure out how to reinitiate contact. The best thing you can do is to make sure that you become the person that she wants to contact.
Absolutely. Let's head over to Jessica from Alabama. Jessica, how can we help you today?
Hi, yes, thank you for having me on. So I was served divorce papers this week for my husband, and I don't want it. He says he can't trust me, and he's done, and he's kind of checked out, and I'm having to treat it like we are moving forward in the process, but we've got 3 kids. We're going to share our house together through the holidays and try to be normal so that they aren't aware. So I'm basically just kind of asking what I can do to not push, and while we're in the same household, to try to kind of rebuild what we had and see if there's any way I can save it before the divorce actually finalizes.
Why does he not trust you?
So he was married previously, and his ex-wife had an affair. And so then when we met, we were in our mid-30s already, and I had kind of established friend groups, male friends that were platonic. So he immediately had trust issues with me, with any male coworkers, any male friends, and that's kind of carried forward, and he's been very insecure, and that's caused a lot of tension. And so he's kind of come to a head, and he can't take it anymore, and
Can't take what
and
anymore?
decided just he's become very almost paranoid. Like if I'm at work and someone a male coworker offers to pick up lunch, then he takes it as me flirting. So he can't get past thinking that I'm doing something behind his back, even though I'm not. And so I'm kind of fighting a losing battle, I feel like, but I still feel like it's worth saving and that we can save it because there's been no infidelity. It's basically just trying to show him that he can trust me, and
So when you talk,
kind of saving it.
does he listen? Does he hear you?
Not right now. Now he's like very angry. Anytime I try to talk to him, a lot of stonewalling is happening, and a lot of you did this is your fault, and
And how do you respond?
it's too late. It's at this for a long time I was very defensive and trying to
Mm-hmm.
defend myself, but I realized that does nothing because
So
he's
how do you
already
respond
kind
now?
of got his mind made up. Now I just kind of say I just kind of have to accept it and just like I know that you're hurt and I'm sorry, but it doesn't help for us to kind of rehash it over and over and over. It just kind of keeps us stuck in a cycle.
Is there a particular thing that set off the anger?
Honestly, it was he has becoming more paranoid, and then one morning a couple of weeks ago, he was going through my phone when I was getting our son up for school, and he saw a text to one of my old coworker friends where I wished him a happy birthday, and that he felt like that was betrayal because I was talking to another man behind his back, and
And all it said was
that
happy
kind of
birthday.
set
It
off.
didn't. It was nothing other than happy birthday. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. I said, happy birthday. I hope your day was great. And he said, thanks. And that was the end. I mean, we've talked before that because we've always been friends and we talk about random things sometimes, but we've never had anything flirting or inappropriate or anything
Right.
along
Is
those
there
lines.
anybody in your husband's life that he does trust?
He goes to his parents and his sister a lot.
How do they feel positive toward you?
Not anymore. They did, and not now that he's kind of
Poisoned
involved
the
them
well.
on, but they haven't reached out to me. Right?
Are
They
you
kind of
guys
have
church people by
heard
any
his-
chance?
We are, yes.
What about a pastor? Is there a pastor that can help him get past this paranoia?
Maybe. He's been in counseling for months, and it almost has made it worse. Somehow, it almost validated him instead of him recognizing that he's overly paranoid and it's coming off as controlling.
Where in Alabama are
validated
you,
him to say
Jessica?
it-
Where in Alabama are you?
In Huntsville.
Okay.
Huntsville.
Okay. Well, we've got some great resources in Huntsville. If you want to contact us off the air, that we can refer you to in
Okay.
terms of counselors and those kinds of things. But Kimberly, you're the psychologist. I'm the relationship guy. How do you deal with a person who is paranoid that would even see a happy birthday as a major deal?
Honestly, Joe, I kind of want to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering if there's any validity to his concerns. It is hard to be a woman with male friends and for your husband to, right? And so, part of me thinks like, Yes, you had male friends because you were, older when you got married and coworkers, but let me say it this way. My sister-in-law and her husband, when they got married, they both just deleted every previous gender, opposite gender from their phone, because they said, we don't have any reason to talk to these people anymore, and we just want to be ensuring that we're protecting our marriage, right? And so maybe take the paranoia aside, maybe there is something to his request of, why do you need these male friends? We're going to put that, so that's one thing. The second thing is, it does sound like he never healed from how his first marriage ended. And therefore, it's putting all of this on steroids. And so, paranoia, whatever you might call it, there's some unforgiveness that hasn't happened. He's projecting things on you from hurt that he's had in his previous marriage, which again, there is an extent of knowing that you also have to be more thoughtful about how you engage with the opposite sex. He has his work to do, but you can only control you. And so maybe, is it even worth? It was a previous coworker. Why tell him happy birthday? You don't have any, you're not friends anymore. You don't see him in daily life. Is it even worth it, knowing how your husband is already struggling with this? And so I think there's both of those sides. I do believe that it can be saved. It's going to take your husband there's a reason that second marriages have a higher divorce rate. And it's typically because the person doesn't do the work to heal from what caused that first marriage to end, or what ended that first marriage, in this case of being cheated on in the past. And so absolutely, it can be saved. And there are things that you can do to move forward with that. I don't know that just saying, well, you're paranoid and I feel controlled, is helping him feel safe.
No, but I didn't necessarily hear her say that. I heard you say that you used to defend yourself and you realized that didn't work. But maybe there's a between what you did say, where you're saying now, well, it's not going to help us if we keep hashing it out. I'm glad you say to him, well, I understand that's how you feel about this. I also appreciate the fact you don't take responsibility for something you didn't do, because I don't think that helps at all. But maybe you change it to a little bit like this. Well, I'm very sorry that hurt you. That was not my intent. Help me understand why it hurt you and how it hurt you, and I'll do my best to not let that happen again. I have no desire to hurt you. There's no other person in my life I want besides you. Now, over time, with a little bit of time, if that helps, then you'll start seeing the paranoia go away. If the paranoia stays or intensifies, then there's going to have to be some counseling or therapy on his side. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And then we have to add in the fact that she got served divorce papers yesterday. But they're having to share the home through the holidays, which was her original question. So how do we?
Oh, I didn't see that.
So how do we? So what can she do to be her best? This is what we tell everyone, Jessica, is working on your pies, being an accepting and listening ear while he's in the home with you. I believe she mentioned that they have kids together. Or that they have kids, and maybe that's from previous marriages, but that there are kids somewhere involved. And so it's really using that time that you are sharing the home together through. Yes, she did say kids, because she said they're trying to keep it as stable as they can for the kids during the holidays. And so work on becoming the best you can be and listening to him as much as you can, not taking that blame. But this is a great opportunity for using smart contact, asking questions unrelated to the things that you have been fighting about, in order to hopefully allow him to open up more to you while you're together, that maybe some of these deeper issues can surface and you can talk about it in a non-threatening way.
Yeah, don't walk on eggshells, because that'll make both of you miserable. Be yourself, but be cognizant, be aware.
Yeah.
These are his triggers. I can avoid these triggers.
Yeah. I would definitely avoid those triggers, and maybe not text any male friends during the time. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, don't even let Santa in.
Don't even. Okay. Let's go to Chang from Vancouver. Chang, how can we help you today?
Hi. So I'm married with my wife for 10 years, and been together for 15. We have two daughters, 8 and 5, and she wants to separate and move out. She's looking for places right now, and I'm trying to prevent her from moving out and try to work on the marriage. And right now, I'm the only one standing for it.
Why does she want to move out? What happened?
She says she doesn't feel emotionally safe. When it comes to intimacy, she feels like it's an obligation and too much pressure, and that I do the bare minimum, even though I'm a stay-at-home. I work remote, so I work at home, and I spend all my time with my family, my kids and my wife. I don't really do anything else other than that.
And has she been saying this for 10 years, or has she just started saying this recently?
More recent. She says she had, since the last child, things have gone downhill, and now she has a job and hang out more with her friends. There might be some influence there, but things have definitely changed more recently.
Okay. And is there any truth to any of the things that she has said from your perspective as to why she wants out?
Yes, yeah. Obviously, I have my issues. She has her issues, and I'm working on mine. I've been watching a lot of the Marriage Helper podcasts and videos, and trying to work on the pies and smart contact. But yeah, it doesn't feel like she's trying at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get her to, at least slow down in the other direction and just kind of turn around and work towards marriage. But she just has no interest at this moment for some reason. Mm-hmm. She's really adamant on the space, like a physical space, meaning not under the same roof.
Do you know anything about this new friend group that she's involved in?
Some are good. I do know, like, there are other mothers in the neighborhood from Joe's school, and so they're good people. Some of them I question their her friend group. Yeah, I know very little.
Okay. Are any of those other mothers divorced?
Yes, the bad ones that I think are divorced.
Yeah. I mean, we would say, Chang, there's got to be some kind of precipitating event to this that is leading her to why now be saying these things, want to move out. You have 2 kids, like why now? And so for as far as you know, I mean, there's the new friend group, but is there any evidence that she might be involved with someone else?
No, there's no cheating. There's nothing like that. No abuse. Like, life is pretty good for us in general.
Mm-hmm. And she worked before she had kids, and she's now going back to work, or is this her first time going to work?
Back to work after she did go to work before kids, and then had kids. Went back, but in a slightly different field, but same area.
Okay. And is she? I mean, what kind of? You don't have to tell me what she does, but is she like in a leadership type of position? Is she climbing the corporate ladder?
In corporate, but more of a field rep for an insurance company.
Okay. Well, Chang, you can't stop her from leaving. You can't stop her from moving out. You can't make her want to work on the marriage. But the things that you can do are the things that you said you've already seen on some of the YouTube videos. Work on yourself. Find opportunities to be able to talk and try and understand. I mean, Chang, if I'm you, I'm trying to have some kind of conversation with her where I am earnestly asking, hey, help me understand why this is happening and why you're wanting this right now. And you're just listening. You're not using that as an opportunity to convince her to stay or to turn it back around on her or to make her feel guilty. You are earnestly seeking to understand, because that's the clarity you need. We talk about the 7 steps here at Marriage Helper to save your marriage. Step 1 is calming down. You don't necessarily sound frantic right now. But step two is being able to get clarity, understand what are these core issues of why my spouse wants out, how long this is going to take, a kind of a check on reality of what this is going to take to save the marriage. But clarity is a huge part. And then step three is stopping those pushes and starting those pulls. And so those are the things I would say, Joe, that would make a difference now.
I agree wholeheartedly. And as we always say, there's always hope. Just don't try to stop her from anything or make her do anything, but do all the things that Kimberly's been advising.
Yeah, you want to be the kind of person that pulls someone else towards you, that pulls your wife back towards you, not that is trying to capture your wife and force her back in with you. And that's what this could be a great opportunity for you, Chang, to get in on that push-pull mini workshop that we're doing on November 8th from 9 to 11 a.m. Central. And for it to help bring you clarity, because right now it sounds like that's what you need more than anything, an understanding of why this is happening so you can better understand what to do.
There was an illustration our good friend Dr. Jeff King has used many times. In the Australian outback, they don't put fences for the cattle. They just dig a well because there's so little water out there. If you put the source of what they need right there in that well, you don't have to build a fence. The cows won't go that far from that water. So rather than trying to build a fence, which is what you do if you try to keep her from moving out, you do all the things Kimberly talked about. You dig the well. You make this the source of all the things that she wants, that she needs. And that's a whole lot better than trying to control the other person.
It is. It definitely is. Well, thank you for joining me today on our show, Dr. Joe.
You join Kimberly and me, the two both of us together. I enjoy working with my daughter. She is a delight. She's very bright, and Alice and I are very, very proud of her. And she is the leader here of this organization, and we're doing as much as we can under her guidance and leadership to bless and change as many lives as possible for good. And that's what we do.
Those are kind words. We are here for you no matter what your situation is. We believe that there is always hope. If we can help, reach out, book a call with our team. And until next week, remember, there is always hope.